Kicking It With Mia, and we're about to get into episode 9, season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. But before we get into it, baby, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Come over here and kick it with your girl, because you won't be disappointed, and I'll be dropping more content soon. So, let go. So, as we start this scene off, it's 3 different scenes, if that makes sense. So, follow me. So we have Kelly, Shamea, and Cynthia in one scene. Cynthia and Angela in one scene. And Cynthia and Portia in another scene. But the scenes are pinging back and forth. So that's how we're going to talk about it. So apparently Cynthia, we know Cynthia went to sleep. Cynthia said, baby, Titi got to get her rest. She ain't be up all night, hanging with the girls. So she has to get her sleep. So she went to sleep, so she don't know what's going on. I did wonder, like, okay, where was Cynthia the next morning? Like, you didn't hear about nothing the next morning. You didn't see the interaction with Kelly and Angela the next morning. I don't know where Cynthia was, but she's getting the tea. So Shamea and Kelly basically let Cynthia know, that they was in the pool all night till like 5 in the morning, doing what they do, drinking and just shooting the shit basically. And some stuff had been said that shouldn't have been said, and basically Angela heard them talking about her. So then it pings to Cynthia and Angela. And Angela is basically letting Cynthia know, that they were calling her Big Bird and just talking about her. And it pings back to Cynthia, Shamea, and Kelly. And they're saying, how Brit said that Charles is all over the A doing him, and he got this outside baby, and he basically cheating on Angela. And so it pins back to Angela telling Cynthia, she heard Portia say that she should fuck Charles. And it pins back to Shamea and Kelly, basically with Kelly kind of confirming it. So then it pings to Portia and Cynthia. So Cynthia is asking Portia, did she say this? And Portia is saying she don't remember saying it. We know Portia gonna act oblivious. She says she don't remember saying it, and if she did say it was the Henny, and she's like, well, the Henny saved the night because she was about to go off. So she's saying she don't remember saying it, that she don't know anything about Charles for real. And the new stuff that she know about Charles, she's basically keeping it to herself. Still throwing little slick shade, like, I know, about your men, but I ain't gonna say nothing. So then it pans back to Kelly, Cynthia, and Shamea. And Shamea basically says that she texted Angela. And Angela sent her this long message, like basically letting Shamea know that she not with that fake shit. And like, that she thought this was a sisterhood, but you girls, their morals and values doesn't align with hers, and she feel a certain type of way, rightfully so. Like, it's one thing for the women to be talking about you, but it's another thing you talking about fucking my husband and all the extra stuff. And so Cynthia basically, she's like, well, on a lighter note, no, Cynthia said, like, maybe after 12 o'clock, ain't nothing open but legs, jail, and the ER. So it's best to take your ass to sleep, because then stuff like this wouldn't happen. And so then she invites the ladies to her baby cue. But y'all, I just want to say, like, I understand Angela being mad. Like, it's one thing. I just wish Angela would have really caused havoc. I wish she would have went down there and checked the whole situation, baby. I was waiting on her to step. Next, we see Kelly throwing Cha-Cha a birthday party. Excuse me. Cha-Cha is Kelly's dog, and she's a little fabulous dog. I mean, she got Cha-Cha all dolled up. And baby, Kelly said that it took about 9 hours to get this dog together. I know this. I know this dog is tired of Kelly. She talking about something. She get her lashes and stuff done. Kelly. The dye, okay, cool, but getting the dog lashes done is really insane. So, excuse me, y'all. So she got the dog all dolled up, and she's throwing her this little extravagant pup party. And while I think it's cute because one thing I can say about Kelly, Kelly likes a good event. And I like that. Like she's gonna throw something nice and I'm here for that. So of course, Brit is at the party. She's bought her dog Mimosa. And so yeah, they just throwing the dog party. The dogs don't really look too interested. Like the dogs really just want to be free and play. They got a dog, me and they're doing dog tricks and the dogs just looking at them like, doing what dogs do. They really this ain't really their thing. But the party is cute. Kelly did say that she spent like she said over $1,000, but then I think on the after show she said like 5,000. But my thing is, hey sis, it's your money. Do what you want to do with it. So yeah, the party is fabulous. So during the party, her and Brit, of course, they go talk, and Brit lets Kelly know that her mother is going to be moving in with her soon. So Brit's mother has put her house up and it went under contract really quick. So she's like, her mother will be living with them in the next 30 to 45 days. And she's excited about that. She let Kelly know that she's back cool with her sister, Cher. If y'all remember, Cher is the sister that she did the sit down with. She's like, they're back cool. Her oldest sister and stuff reached out to her. They've gotten cooler since the King situation. I told y'all, Brit, she's like, my sisters have always been there for me, which, don't get me wrong, those are her sisters. They should definitely, you should ride for your sister. That's your family. Somebody messing with you, I'ma ride for you. But I know Brit was that girl that started shit when she was younger, and she always had to call her sisters for backup, and they always came to rescue her. That's why she do what she do. And so she's like, the Kelly situation, I mean, not the Kelly, but the Kenya situation has brought them closer together. We can't go an episode without mentioning Kenya with Brit. But she's like, they're cool and they're going to be packing up their mother's house soon. And Cher's coming to pack up the house with her. They doing pretty good. She's just like that. The two sisters, Cher and the oldest sister, now they're beefing. So they got a lot of drama, child. And, she asked Kelly, what's up with her. And Kelly is just like, we sat down with Cynthia, let her know about all the drama, and that she's got this party coming up. So we see Portia talking to Miss Diane and her sister Lauren. And as Portia's coming in, she's brought PJ a dog, y'all. And I don't know if it's just me. PJ didn't look like she really wanted that dog, but Portia's like, she know PJ could feel her bad energy, and that she's basically going through it. She haven't been in the right headspace, so she wanted to get PJ a dog so she can basically have somebody to play with. She said PJ has started asking for a sibling, and she like, I don't know what about no sibling. So this dog gonna have to do. So she takes the dog in to PJ and try to surprise her. And PJ, she just looking. They like, oh, she's speechless. PJ like, girl, where the hell you going with this dog? Who told you to get this damn dog? That's the look on her face. So she names the dog Peanut Butter. And so Portia then started to explain, what happened. Well, first, Lauren asked about her divorce, and she said that, after the prenup situation, that the divorce should basically be final. But here we are, 2025, and I think she's still going through the divorce, and Simon's in ICE. But that's neither here nor there. So then Lauren also says, well, how did the party go left? Because when we were there, everything, everybody had put their differences to the side to have a good time. So what happened, So Portia basically let them know that she received a phone call letting her know that Dennis did, in fact, film with Drew. And she was like, that made me mad, So she was like, I was fist to blow my cap. But so basically, she like, I had to talk to Cynthia, my second Lauren, to kind of get my head together. And she told me, so after I talked to Cynthia, I ended up in the pool, drunk, having fun. And then she like, I forgot that I put Angela in the room closest to the pool. So she's basically like, we was in the pool and we were talking about her. She was like, I was mimicking her like Charles. You know how Netta say Charles. Y'all know Netta from TikTok. So Charles, and she's like, that's how Angela says Charles' name. And so she was basically mimicking Angela. She called Angela Big Bird, but Portia said in her confessionals that she don't know who called Angela Big Bird. But then she admitted to her mama and her sister and she called the Big Bird. And that's the thing with Portia. Like, girl, just stand on it. Like, just whatever you said, just stand on that shit. No need to deflect. Like, you said it, you said it. Like, it is what it is. Then she says, I said some stuff that I shouldn't have said that I would do with Charles. She really didn't say what she said to her mama and them. And so she's just like, what I said was, I shouldn't have said that. Then the mama and them, they talking about how they can't defend Drew. And I mean, they can't defend, what's the man name? Dennis or whatever no more. It's just like Portia being Portia, acting like she oblivious and being dinging like she don't know what's going on and she know exactly what she did. Like, Portia, I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, I don't have no issue with these people personally. They do have character flaws and stuff sometimes that I don't like, but I don't like to say I don't like these people like that because I don't know them for real. But Portia, like, I like Portia. I do think Portia's entertaining. But Portia, we gotta quit lying, baby. Just stand on your truth. Just stand on it. Say you said it. We see Shamea meeting up with Shadina. So Shadina is the surrogate that Shamea used for baby Shiloh. If you've been watching the Housewives for a while, you also know that Candy used Shadina for her daughter Blaze. So she's meeting up with Shadina so she can meet her new surrogate. So it looks like that Shamea and Gerald have made up their mind and they are, going full force on baby boy. And so their meeting, she's said that, she spoke with Asha. The new surrogate name is Asha. They spoke on a video call and stuff together, but now she's meeting her in person, basically, to feel the vibe out. And so Asha, she seems like she has good energy. Shadina says everything about Asha is good on paper as far as like the medical test and all that. So they just got to basically get the legal stuff worked out. She does call Gerald because Gerald is not physically at the appointment. So she FaceTimes Gerald to let him speak with Asha. And he's just like, he's excited, asking Asha if she's ready. And so, yeah, Shamea is just like, she just want a healthy baby. She don't want to go through what she's had to go through with baby Shiloh. She does give an update on baby Shiloh and let us know that baby Shiloh is putting her pacifier in her mouth. So she's making milestones and, she's doing good. So she's just praying for a healthy baby. I pray that they get their healthy baby and that everything works out. Like, they're moving full-fledged on this, so we want the baby to be healthy and we want Asha to have a great pregnancy, because I think the situation with Shadina, that's like one in a lifetime. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but like finding out you have an aggressive form of breast cancer while pregnant is a lot. So I pray that everything works out for her this go round and, that they get what they want. I do wonder though, we know they filmed this a while ago. So Asha could be pregnant right now, y'all. We shall see. I know there'll probably be something they'll reveal after the show route. And I mean, after, the show go off. So next we see Charles and Mrs. Angela Oakley, baby. So we see them at their house, and basically Charles is in there training Angela, like, you got it. She being a drill sergeant, which ain't nothing wrong with it. I like that. And so, as you know, they're working out or whatever. She basically tells him about the Nashville trip. And so I did kind of side eye Angela because she said she was on the phone with Charles during the trip when she was hearing Portia them talk about her. But baby Charles said he was in Tampa. She like, I called you. He was like, yeah, I was in Tampa. So did you talk to him or did you not? And what's up with all these husbands going to Tampa? And did you not know he was in Tampa? Like, I had to look, I had some side eye questions. And so basically Angela let Charles know that she invited Drew. So Charles was like, to Nashville, why would you do that? Like, and she's like, because I wanted them to get along, I wanted them to talk. And he's like, basically, you grown for that. Like, she was like, you wouldn't have done it. He was like, basically, I wouldn't do no shit like that. Like, you probably wrong for inviting her. And so Angela did say, Charles is supposed to be having her back, but he's basically like the number one hater. If she want to get a hater opposing side, all she got to do is ask Charles, and he's gonna give it back to her. And so she's still telling him what's going on. And so he's like, so Angela is like, I didn't think it was basically anything wrong with it. He was like, you kind of wrong. And then she tells him, that Portia had Brit talking for her. And so he like, Portia with her big mouth. And so she like, yeah, Brit. He was like, basically why she got Brit talking for her. So she was like, Angela let him know that, she asked Portia, why did she take that woman's husband? And so Charles is like, well, how you know that she took that? How you know that's true? And then she was like, well, the streets is talking. He was like, the streets is the worst people. That's the worst people to believe. And so he was like, you wrong for asking her that, because, you don't ask nobody nothing like that. So Angela, she kind of get a little offended because she's like, Charles, he's not taking her side, and especially on camera. It's just like, yeah, you can hold me accountable, but we on camera, baby, you better be on my side. So now she like, okay, well, since you basically team Portia, let's see if you still team Portia after what I got to say. So she was like, so put your belts on. Charles like, baby, I don't wear belts. Because she like telling him to buckle up for what I got to say, what they were saying about you. So then she lets Charles know, that they're saying that you got some lady in New York that you were seeing. And I did catch that Charles, he got a rebuttal for everything. He didn't really have no rebuttal for that, the New York lady. He just kind of like, well, do you believe it? And Angela's like, no. And she's like, you're so easy to fuck. Like, anybody can fuck you. Apparently, Portia can fuck you. And so Charles is like, no. And so he's like, well, you haven't seen them since Nashville. And she's like, no. She's letting him know, she gonna see them soon. And he's like, oh, I wish I need front row seats to see so they can see that West Side Chicago come out of you. But y'all, I did like side eye Charles, because I'm like, okay, he got something to say for everything. But when it came to this lady, he kind of skimmed over that. He said something, but not too much. And it's like, because me, I feel like if somebody say, oh, you fucking this lady, you as a man supposed to be like, shit, she ain't seen me with nobody. But then again, that don't mean nothing, And then too, but people keep saying that they feel like Charles don't have Angela back. I just feel like she know Charles. She know Charles is like really no nonsense when it comes to bullshit. He feel like it's dumb shit. And he just gonna say what, like I always say, he's just the older man stuck in his ways, gonna say what's on his mind. Now, if the man is cheating or not, I don't know. Could it be some truth to it? I mean, it could be. It might not be. Allegedly, baby, we don't know. Did y'all see when Angela talked about the baby, the outside baby? She said that it happened with her oldest daughter's dad. He had an outside baby, and that's who she was talking about. I don't know if I really too much believe that. We gonna say allegedly. I don't know. I just feel like all she gotta do is say how old Charles Jr. is, and that'll basically let us know if it is or if it ain't. And I just feel like if it is true, just say it, because you on this show. People are nosy as hell, and you have a set of people that may not like you, or they just want to prove a point, and they gonna dig for it. So I do hope that it's not Charles. But, you just never know. I just wonder about that, because why would not Angela, what's her name? Wendy Williams, why would she say that you said that and then you pointed at Charles Oakley? You know what I'm saying? And then this came out years ago. So why would Wendy be even saying that? Because it's not like Angela was already on the show. So I do wonder wonder about that. But I did like, okay, Charles, like, he ready, like, let them hoes talk. So we see Portia. She's getting ready for her au pair, which is, basically like a live-in nanny. And y'all can say what y'all want to say, but I'm all for that. Like, if you got the funds for it, and you have a busy lifestyle, you have to be here, you have to be there, baby, do whatever you can to relieve, the stuff that's on your plate. Like, some people might say, oh, I had to I'm a working mom, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I don't have, I don't hire people. That's you. If you got the funds and it's something that helps you take the stress and stuff off your plate, baby, do it. So Portia is basically, she's the lady is coming. She's from South Africa. And she's basically coming. She's gonna be staying with her in Pilar. Dennis comes because of course she needs to meet Dennis because she will be back and forth between their house. And then, that's her co-parent. So she has, got her gifts, balloons, a cake and stuff, basically welcoming her, which I thought was nice. So Dennis come, after they meet the lady, and she let her know basically what it is, that she will be doing. Her assistant Lauren takes her so she can take her to go get self. So we see Portia. Portia is telling Dennis that they need to have a talk. And baby, Dennis got a confessional. Everybody got a confessional except Kenya. So basically, she's, letting Dennis know how she felt about the whole situation, about him filming with Drew. Of course, Dennis says that he didn't film, that he walked into the session and cameras was there. Which, now, production played it back where Dennis is actually in the section before Drew got there. But we do know this show is edited. So I don't know if it's true or if it's not. We know Dennis is be lying. Him and Portia both be lying. Well, all three of them. Him, Portia, and Drew be lying. So from what it's showing is that he was there, he knew the cameras was there, and then Drew came. So he was well aware he didn't walk into the session. That's what it's showing. I do know the show is edited, so I don't know. Basically, Portia's letting him know, that she fell away because it's like he keep going against the grain, basically. Like, if I ask you not to film with somebody, don't do it. And then not only that, if you are going to do it, why do I have to find out from somebody else? Which, that's a valid question. And so her and Dennis are, he's like, it's nothing like that. He dropped Drew basically as an artist, but because Portia kind of scared her away, and so she should be cool now. And so then Portia starts speculating, saying that didn't Drew try to have sex with you? And Dennis is like, what? Have sex with me? And then so Portia's like, yeah. So she gets to looking in her phone or whatever. She takes Dennis' glasses and put them on. And it's like, let me see. And she read the text, and Dennis is like, you is interpreting that wrong. In which the text, it really wasn't no context to say that Drew was trying to fuck him. Like, so that's neither here or there. So, Portia is like, I want to basically get on the right page because we got a co-parent. You're like my brother. and Dennis is like your brother. And so in the confessional, Dennis tries to kiss Portia. And, Portia, she jump back or whatever. And so y'all have a problem with the situation between Portia and Dennis. I don't have a problem with this situation. I'm just tired of hearing about Drew, Portia, and Dennis because I feel like it is a storyline that they all may have conjured up to have something to talk about. But I don't feel like her and Dennis, I don't feel like it's an issue. I like seeing her and Dennis. I like they that they get along and how that they act. A lot of y'all keep saying, she can't tell Dennis what to do and she tried to fight his mama and this and that. And it's like, okay, cool. nobody has a problem with it but y'all. Like, nobody has a problem with the situation. But y'all, I feel like if Dennis don't care, like Dennis is not worried about the stuff that happened with his mama. They're all cool, you know, they all be on pictures and stuff together. They didn't obviously work through that. Dennis low key still want Portia. I feel like if Portia told, then I done said it before. If Portia basically told Dennis, let's try again, Dennis gonna try again. Do I feel like Dennis really hurt Portia? Yes. So that's why maybe she doesn't want to jump in it. Maybe she don't want Dennis at all. But at the end of the day, if Dennis is willing to be used by Portia, Dennis like the camera too. And not only that, if Dennis is willing to be used by Portia, like even on her YouTube channel, that chemistry is there. If he's willing to do whatever Portia want him to do, then why do y'all care? Like, that's her baby daddy. If her baby daddy is cool with it, baby, should none of us have a problem with it. Like, that's just my take on that. So I do like seeing them their chemistry because they have their chemistry. I ain't gonna say that they should or shouldn't get back together, but if they do decide to spin the block, you know, shoot, they got a child together. You know, neither one of them is in a relationship. They grown as hell. If you want to spin it, baby, spin it. Do y'all. Next scene, we see Brit at her mother's house helping her pack. It's Brit, her sister Sherry, her mother, and her grandmother. And, you know, basically, they're talking about how bittersweet it is, you know, packing everything up. And, you know, that the family house is basically about to be no more. The sister Sherry is taking it really hard. She's not really with them packing the house up. So the mother, you know, they like, oh, she just ready to get out this house because she ready to hoe. Like, girl. And so we find out that the mother and the father had been married since she was 17. So it's probably hard for her to be in this house. She said that their dad built the house for her back in like 2014, and he didn't even make it a year in the house. And so it's probably hard for her to be in that house, you know. I'm assuming she's by herself and, you know, having to deal with those memories. That could be hard. And then not only that, just the upkeep of a house. And she's used to her husband being there. He's not there anymore. So as they are packing, you know, the sister Sherry is looking, it's like, where's the liquor? And she's like, you know, I don't drink like this, so why would it wouldn't be much liquor. So then she makes the comment about, you know, well, who do you gave all my daddy's stuff away to? And so the mother's like, then well, he shouldn't have left me. And she's like, well, he died. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I feel like they all are still grieving. And Britt did say her sister Sherry, she took it the hardest, and you can tell, like, they're grieving. They need some type of grief counseling together and probably separately. The grandmother had to chime in. They called the big sister Tiara, and they talk, you know, on FaceTime with her. And Sherry and Tiara are mad at each other. They all started crying. Like, it's a lot, y'all. So I feel like that they all need some type of grief counseling. This is it's okay scene. It kind of lets me know a little bit more about Brit. But yeah, I think they all need some type of grief counseling. You know, I understand it's hard for all of them, but their mother probably is taking, like, even though the sister Sherry is taking it really hard, I believe their mother is probably taking it really hard too. I mean, I know she's probably taking it really hard because this is a man that you've been with since you were 17, and he just up and died out of nowhere. So I get, you know, the mother may not want to be in that space anymore. She might just be ready for a new beginning. And sometimes you just have to respect that. You know, they keep saying, well, this the family's house. This the family's house. But at the end of the day, her mental is way more important. So we're at Cynthia's Bailey Q. And so basically, Cynthia used to have this event for the 4th of July, but she's changed it to Juneteenth, which I like, we're black. It's obvious. And so you want to celebrate something that represents you. So she changed the event to Juneteenth, and she want all the ladies to wear Juneteenth colors. Brit is the first one to arrive, and she has on green. Then Dr. Natasha, the prophet, she comes and she's there, basically to kind of read the lady's energy. She let Brit know that, it's time to basically focus on herself, focus on her business, her new business adventure. Brit lets us know that she have a new business called Burn Naked coming out. And I'm like, okay, Brit, burn naked, go naked. We know Brit has been up under Portia, but I do wonder, like, maybe Brit was working on this business before she got on the Housewives with that name. If not, then girl, change your name. But if you had the name already before you got on the Housewives, then baby, do your thing. So then Kelly arrives, and Kelly comes in being Kelly, and she talks to the prophet. She asked the prophet if she want to read her palms, and the prophet is like, "Oh, I don't do any palm readings. I just basically do it all for your energy." And then so Miss Angela arrives in her yellow, baby, and I like it because Angela's like, if y'all gonna call me Big Bird, but I'm gonna put this yellow on and it's gonna be on. Which Angela looks good. She looks good. So she arrived in her yellow, and then the prophet started dropping something as she's, greeting Angela. And here go Brit and Kelly. Oh, she must felt that energy. She felt that energy. And then y'all, when Angela was coming in about to sit down, baby, Brit face, the way Brit was looking, I'm like, girl, you would think that Angela fucked you in. The way her face was just like pure disgust at Angela. And it's like, okay, Brit, now come on now, girl. So the prophet let Kelly know, basically that she had good things coming to her. And she says, Kelly went through a very bad depression with her divorce, and that he sold her car. And so she's like, wow, Kelly's like, wow, nobody knew that, he had gifted me a G-Wagon. And he took it when we started going through our divorce. He took it and sold it. And ladies, this is why y'all get stuff in y'all name. Because you won't sell it, that's okay. I'm going to take your ass to court. But he took her G-Wagon and he sold it. Since she's like, nobody knew that but Brit. And so she's like, wow, like, this lady really know. I'm like, do she really know for real, or have Cynthia laced her up? But she said nobody knew about the car situation but Brit. So as she's telling Kelly about her energy and what she's feeling for her. Shamea arrives, and I know some of y'all don't like what Shamea had on. I thought Shamea looked good, especially for the event and for the theme and the attire. She looked good. And Shamea is like, baby, her husband is Kenyan. He's asking why wouldn't she put her dashiki and stuff on. But Shamea looked good as hell. I'm sorry, y'all. She looked good. Well, I'm not sorry, but yeah, she looked good. And the food looked good too, y'all. And so she starts basically Dr. Natasha, she starts reading or feeling Angela's energy, and she basically tells her that, her and her spouse, so her and Charles, they've been disconnected. She needs to spice things up, get things going in the bedroom, basically get back on the same page with him as far as like, the sexy time and all of that. And so Angela's like, oh well, let me order something from Victoria's Secret right now. And then in her confessional, she said, baby, Charles' love language is cleaning the damn house. And that's so funny to me because he's an older man. Like Charles, like he's stuck in his ways. So she's like, his love language is cleaning the house. And so Natasha is asking about like a Porsche or something dealing with a Porsche, and here goes Shamea, and this was corny of Shamea. I'm sorry, this was corny of Shamea. That's why I've been saying it. Shamea and Portia are more alike than they are not. Both of them are messy. Shamea is just sneaky with her. She's sneaky and she's nice, nasty. Whereas Portia is more in your face with it. But anyway, Shamea don't say a Porsche or a Porsche. I think and Kelly and Brit just started. I think laughing. I'm like, that shit wasn't even funny. That was corny. And Cynthia's like, y'all stop, chill, chill. And so I'm like, okay, Shamea, like, you doing too much. Like, at some point, come on now. So then they show Portia is arriving. And at first, I'm like, okay, everybody kind of got into the, dressed up at least into the colors, and Portia got on pink. But then as I was looking at it, I'm like, maybe it's the camera making her outfit look pink, but it's really red, like a reddish color, but it looked a little pink on camera. That's what it's giving. So I think her outfit is really red, y'all. After Natasha is prophesizing Shamea, and she let Shamea know that 2025 is her money making year. And like, she's gonna do good this year, but she do need to lay low. Shamea gets offended because Brit, Cynthia, and Kelly are taking handless shots in the middle of her reading, which was a little disrespectful because she did sit there, and let her read them and without interrupting. But this is because I feel like Shamea, they don't take you serious because you don't be putting your foot down for real. And so Portia and Lauren, her sister, comes on in, and Portia, she's speaking. She speaks to Angela. Angela's like, hey, they did like a little hey. And Angela in her confessional says, Portia gets nada. So we talk about Nashville, she gets nothing from me, which, okay, Angela, I feel you, girl. And so Natasha prophesies for Portia. And she let Portia know that she will be getting a divorce. And Portia got a joke. She like, oh, I'm getting a divorce. And they like, Portia, everybody know you getting a divorce. All your shit been all over the press. This is when Simon had his neck on Portia. Had his foot on Portia's neck. So she's like, yeah, and y'all will be you getting your divorce, and maybe later y'all could be friends. Being friends with Simon after all this is crazy, but whatever. And so Drew comes in. Drew finally arrives. Drew comes in, and they telling Drew, it's time for her. And Drew will basically, Natasha let them know that Drew want her stuff to be read in private. And so Portia is like, in private, this is what Portia says in her confessional. She's like, oh, she want to basically tell her lies to us, but she wants the prophet to basically prophesize to her in private because she don't want us to know the truth. And then the whole time, Drew is walking up, and Kelly is, oh, she an actress. She an actress. You gotta watch her. See, y'all, Kelly, I like Kelly, but Kelly is sneaky too. Kelly do little stuff, and then kind of, and like how he and like she said stuff about Angela, and then wanted to be Kiki in her face the next morning. Like Kelly she a little fake. And so yeah, so I do kind of low key agree with Portia. We know Portia be lying. We know they all be lying, child. But Drew, why you didn't want to get your stuff read in front of everybody? I want to know what she said to Drew. So Kelly basically speaks to Angela and asks her, how she's doing. And Angela's like, she's in need of a good vibe. And here go Brit. I always got her buddy in. Basically, like, she feel like the prophet was spot on. So Portia was like, what's the prophet spot on for everybody? And so Brit again chiming in on Angela and her man's life. And it's like, you need to basically take what the prophet said and do what she said do. And so Angela is like, Brit, like, basically kind of chill. And so Brit is basically like, um you need to, no, Angela told Brit that she got a big mouth. And then she like, well, you need to use your mouth. Maybe if you use your mouth, then the prophet wouldn't be saying what she's saying. And then Angela's like, oh, I use my mouth. Well, not as much as you. That's why you have scratch marks around your mouth. She ain't with that. See, this Angela is very quick with it, and it's something that Brit is not. And this is the reason why I don't feel like Brit is really a good fit for the show. So they're going back and forth, and so she's like stretch marks, like they got up under Brit's skin. So Brit then got up, and she's like, "Show me, show me." Cynthia is holding Brit back, like, "Girl, sit down, chill," telling her like, chill. And so Angela is like, Brit, you are a whore. Not a hoe, y'all, but a whore. Y'all know that whore hit different than that hoe. And so she's like, your mouth have mouths on it. Baby, when I say Angela can read, she can read and she's quick with it. And Brit, to my point with Kenya, she's not quick with it. And you see, she resulted to getting up, trying to get into Angela's face because she don't know how to fight with her words. Like she wanna take it to a whole nother level real quick. Like the thing that Angela is doing to Brit, kind of like antagonizing her and talking about her, calling her a whore and all. This is what Kenya should have did. Kenya should have been like, girl, I've seen photos of you sucking dick. You the whore, like, be fucking with her every time she see her because that's gonna get up under Brit's skin, and she could have made Brit twirl her ass on out of there, but she didn't do that. That's neither here or there. But yeah, Brit was really mad, and Angela ate her up. Like, y'all can't say it. Angela didn't eat her up. Angela ate her up. The Brit is like, a whore. You may need to be a whore in the bedroom, basically, to please your man Charles. And so she's like, Brittany's like, and you haven't even been acknowledged for 10 years because Angela's like, baby, I'm married. She's like, oh, Brittany's like, oh, you haven't even been acknowledged for 10 years of basically. And she's like, I don't have to be acknowledged. The world know that we are married. And she's just like, they're going back and forth. And here go Britt. Well, what about that baby? What about that side baby? And here go Kelly. What about that baby? What about that baby? Now Kelly. So Drew, in the midst of all this, is like she can't be over there because she can't protect her peace. And this is my problem with Drew. Like, Angela has stood 10 toes down for you, but you just let Angela over her fight all her battles with all these ladies because she's been fighting for you. And that's the thing with Drew. Like, Drew be doing whole shit because come on now, Drew, you should have been over there helping your girl. And so Angela is like, you better come with your receipts about this, baby. You better have your receipts together. And here goes Shamea. Baby, if somebody said that my husband had a side baby, it'll hurt my feelings. But we've been trying to get a baby so long, I'd be like, just give me the baby. Now, Shamea, please, that is not the same. Let her go out and have another baby with somebody. Baby, we gonna see if you gonna be saying give us the baby. But then you took shit. You never know. She might. But yeah, they're all just going back and forth. And so Cynthia basically, like, she chimed in like, hey, this is not what we about to do. We not about to do this. After Cynthia calmed everybody down, they play a game and answer Juneteenth questions. Baby, they did horrible. And Portia talking about, I ain't never been so loud and wrong in my life. Portia. Now Portia. They didn't rewind the camera back to when Portia thought the Underground Railroad was a real Underground Railroad that was, you talking about, it ain't electric like we have now. Who is driving it? Portia. Now Portia. And Portia, you gotta represent your grandfather better, baby. Like, if you don't know the answers, just don't say nothing. Just do not say that, especially because that's what your family, your grandfather's legacy is known for. You can't be out here making him look crazy now, Pete. And so basically now Cynthia is summoning Angela and Portia to the profit room. And, you know, Angela has already said, like, I got to get something off of my chest. And here goes Drew. No, you don't. And Angela's like, I do. And that's Drew. But you know what? I don't even expect more for Drew. Like, Drew is always playing, like, Drew is sneaky. She do stuff underhandedly, but she is never going to just do it to people's face. And that's one thing I do not like about Drew. Like, girl, I feel like the best, like, you need to not be afraid of confrontation, especially when you be running your mouth in these confessionals. Like, Drew get on my nerves, not want to say nothing, not want to speak up. Like, girl, this Angela has been riding for you, and you just leave her out to dry every time, and I do not like that. I do not like that. Angela and Portia are summoned to the principal office, now to the profit room, basically to talk about what happened in Nashville. And so Angela lets Portia know, you know, that she didn't like what she heard, that, you know, she was only inviting Drew because she wanted them to basically get on the same page, and that, you know, she felt like that she could help with that. And so Portia's like, well, from her point of view, it wasn't even about the Drew situation. Now it was basically about Angela, because now we got to go toe to toe. And so Angela's like, basically, fuck all that. It's really like what you said about fucking Charles. And so here go Portia. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't say it like that, you know. And then so Angela's like, well, just blame it on the Henny. It was the alcohol, right? And so Portia in her confessional is basically saying, you know, that she was up and it was a kiki, and she was just having a good time with her friends. She tells Angela that she walked up on, and what she heard was just them basically kind of joking around. And so in her confessional, she says, you know, she's sorry. Then here comes Cynthia back. When Cynthia walked back to the profit room, she asked them, are they good? And so here go Portia. She didn't even apologize about what she said about my husband. Now, I don't know what Angela said about Portia's, about Simon. Maybe it was something edited out. I don't know. But you know, Angela apologized. You know, she let her know, like, if I offended you, I'm sorry. And like I said before, Angela don't mind apologizing. Then so Portia apologized. Portia really didn't apologize. After Angela apologized, Portia said ditto, and then was like, well, if I offended you, you know, that wasn't her intentions. I didn't hear the part where her saying, you know, I'm sorry, not to Angela's face. Now she did say it in the confessional. But my thing was P, like, you my girl, P, but you got, like I told you, I'm gonna hold everybody accountable. P, you gotta stand on what you said. If you said that shit, you could have said, you know, I was drunk. I shouldn't have said that. There was a kiki. I was with my homegirls. We was turning up. I was mad, so I said some shit that was out of pocket. That's what you could have said. Now, whether Angela received that or not, that's neither here nor there. But you could have said that and left it alone. But that whole ditto and, you know, basically the little half apology, if you felt offended, like, Portia, you gotta do better with that. Like, you gotta basically have some type of accountability when it comes to these situations. But at the end of the day, you know, they decide to leave on a good note and basically both agree that they want to move forward. So we shall see how long this will last. So Cynthia makes Angela stay sitting down because Shamea want to speak with Angela. So Shamea speak with Angela, and basically Shamea is like, she needs to get closure on the text that Angela sent her. And so Angela says she feels a certain type of way with Shamea because she didn't check Portia. And so Shamea is like, but that wasn't my fight. And so Angela is like, you know, you kiki with her. That's your best friend. And you, as a married woman, should have checked her. Now, well, I agree with Angela. Like, if that's my home girl, I must check you, right? But I feel like Shamea should have checked Portia, but it should be in private. Like, and then I think it's crazy for Angela to think that Shamea would check Portia in front of the group and have her back just because she has no loyalty to Angela for real, if that makes sense. Like, I understand the point and I agree with Angela. Like, she should have checked Portia. But the thing is, I think a lot of people are seeing Shamea true colors now. Everybody was team Shamea. And like I said, I like Shamea and Portia. They both do shit that I side eye. And I'm like, okay, now what the hell are we doing here? Like, you wrong. You was dead wrong. Like, I'm gonna call them out. But I feel like Portia and Shamea are alike. Like, y'all don't want to see that because y'all were blinded by the lifestyle that Shamea is living and her having a husband, and that Portia is just so jealous of Shamea and wants Shamea life when they both was out here on the same playing field looking for the same thing of men that's filthy rich that can take care of them. That's it. That's all. And then not only that, Shamea was supposedly hooked Portia and Simon up. Well, Shamea said this in a comment out her mouth. I seen it with my own eyes. If I could find it, I would insert it. Probably won't be able to find it, but still, Shamea said this, that she hooked them up. She think Portia said something in the comment like, "Thank you, best friend, for hooking us up," or "You the best matchmaker," or something like that. And Shamea alluded to that she did. She, you welcome and all that. So Shamea hooked them up. And my thing is, for Angela, it's like you're expecting too much from Shamea. Like, do I feel like if that's my homegirl and I know this is a married man and she say I should fuck him, I'm be like, man, you doing too much. Like, why would you say that about that woman husband? Now, would I necessarily say it in front of them to make her look bad? Maybe not, because that's my dog. Like, I'ma uphold her. I'ma hold her to the fire, but I might not do it in front of the group. But Shamea didn't say she checked Portia. And then Shamea keeps saying, everybody knows that Shamea runs behind Portia. Let's just call it spade. So she wasn't going to check her anyway. And so my thing is with Angela, you are expecting too much. And then not only that, I kind of wonder why Angela didn't have that energy for Brit and Kelly, because at the time they are married too. Portia's married too. So they basically didn't come to a resolution. Shamea is like, I like to laugh. Angela feels the way because she says that Shamea Kiki when Portia said it, which she did, and Angela's feelings are very valid. And so she's like, Shamea is like, I laugh at everything. When they buried my uncle, they had him dressed up like a pastor, and this man ain't never stepped foot in the church. And I'm like, Shamea, what the hell does this got to do with anything? And so at this point, Angela's like, okay, I'm over it, because you saying that we not gonna get nowhere. And so basically that ends the episode. And so, y'all, I'm like, I see both sides of it. I do think Shamea should check Portia, but at the end of the day, Angela is expecting loyalty from Shamea, and Shamea is not your friend for real. And I don't even think Shamea really even like Angela. I think Shamea was just playing nice for the show, even though she says she like Angela. In the confessional, Shamea confessional, she apologized to Angela, which I'm like, well, you could have just apologized to her when y'all was face to face. But that's why I say I don't think Shamea is really feeling Angela for real. I just think Angela is like, I feel like the loyalty that she wanted from Shamea about checking Portia because she's married is what she should have been on Drew ass about. And don't get me wrong, Drew probably did have her. I know she had her back in that instance, but it's just like, I feel like you're expecting something from somebody who you've already called a lapdog, that you saying that she's Portia's minion. So if you know this and you've said this multiple times, why would you expect anything less or anything more? And so that ends the episode. What y'all rate the episode? I think I gave this episode, I give it a 7, a strong 7. Episode was good. They are keeping it going. Angela is playing her role. Like I say, Angela it's like she's quick-witted. I think she gives that old housewife vibe. She's carrying it. Angela is low-key sneaky though. So this is why I don't jump. This is why I say I hold them all accountable, and I kind of see past the old people being fanned out and like, oh, I like her. I like her. I don't like what she did. I'm team this person. I'm team that. I don't do all that because these are people. I don't know these people in real life. I'm just going off of an edited show that we are all seeing, and I'm just speaking my opinion on it. And I think y'all should do the same. Don't get so caught up into the point where y'all are really going at each other's neck about these people. Like I said, I like pushing Shamea, but I'm gonna hold their ass accountable. The person that I don't want to say I dislike her, but I don't feel like she may not fit in with this cast is Brit, because Brit is not quick with it. She's mad about everything. She don't know how to use her words. She always results to something more than it gotta be. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what y'all think. Bye, y'all.